I was on Twitter over the weekend and I saw that was trending tales from the Christmas party. Now I start reading some of these tales from the Christmas party. People, writing New York Times bestsellers with 160 characters. You're a badass person if you can write a full story, a short story with 160 or 140 characters, whatever they give you on Twitter. But the first one I read made me vomit just a little bit in my mouth. What movie was that from? This girl says, I was at the Christmas party for The Office when my office crush accidentally bumped into me. I had just taken a mouthful of wine. Oh, the dirty minds you have. I've just taken a mouthful of the wine when my office crush said, excuse me. I said, excuse me back without swallowing. And wine went everywhere. Now, I get that that was cute and all, but that's what was getting major love and major retweets. Oh my God, I can visual it inside of my mind. Some of the retweets would say. When I read that little short story in the tweet, I said, yo, that shit is dumb. That's super dumb. It's like some old notebook strawberry wine bullshit. Yo, let me tell you about some tales from the Christmas party. From a convicted felon, the thuggest prison YouTuber on the internet. Let me tell you about tales from the Christmas party. Let me tell y'all back when I first got released. You see, because I ain't never even had no Christmas party. Joe ain't never been party to no Christmas party. But I've been the hired help before. That's right. I've been the motherfucking butler at Christmas parties for big name companies like Canon. There's actually a Canon factory in Newport News. Little footnote to this story. During this time, I would work 3 different Christmas parties. My very first Christmas home from prison after 7 years. I'm going to tell a story about this. I couldn't do this in 140 tweets. I couldn't do this. It's got to be a video. So during this time, I worked 3 different Christmas parties. Canon was one. A big car dealership was another one, like RK Chevrolet. Man, they was giving away cars at their Christmas party. I mean, like big shit. And then there was Smithfield Packing. Now, for those of you who don't know what Smithfield Packing is, that's a meat plant here in Virginia. And they're big. They do all like pork. They do pigs. A little footnote to this story. I actually met a girl back when I was like 18 years old who worked at Smithfield Packing. Now, when she told me she worked there, I was a little taken aback. I was like, wow, girl, you work at Smithfield Packing where they be slaughtering pigs at? I'm like, yo, I'm kind of laughing about it. I'm like, what you do, girl? What you do? What you doing at Smithfield Packing? You answering the phone somewhere? Is you a receptionist or a secretary? She said, I work on the kill floor. You do what now? She was like, I work on the kill floor. I be gutting pigs all day long, slitting their bellies open all day. You know, she was really a nice girl if I would have taken the time to get to know her, but I did not. I didn't want to end up on Dateline. I figured this was how any Dateline special would start. But anyways, yeah, really nice girl. Psychotic as a mother. That's got to be tormenting to you. That's got to be detrimental. That's like, that's going to give you post-traumatic. She's going to be Jodi Arias. You know what? Matter of fact, I wonder what happened to that girl. Now that I think about it, I think her name was Jodi. Son of a bitch. God, I'd be good, yo. I'd just be able to connect dots. I'd be able to connect the dots. I'm good at that. But she don't have nothing to do with the story. The Smithfield Packing has everything to do with this. Tales from the Christmas party. Y'all want some tales? Y'all want some tales for real? How about this? When Joe was a temp, working for $7.50 or $8 an hour. Oh, Joe, you're paying guys $10 an hour? How dare you? When Joe was a temp making $8 an hour, I moved up in that gig as a banquet server. I actually became the head banquet server. Now, I was telling this story over the weekend. Actually, Connor was around when I was telling the story. He was laughing his ass off. I said, and I moved up with this gig. And he said, to what? To the head banquet server? I said, I did. And I was still making $8 an hour. But I had some stripes on my arm like a rookie guard going to a sergeant up inside the prison. I move up to the head banquet server, and all I get to do with this gig is I'm now responsible for checking people in who are other banquet servers and temps from the temp service that I work at. Now, you got to imagine something. This was at a huge hotel, okay? It was a huge hotel right next to a convention center, and it was a really nice hotel. So you had your hotel staff and then you had your temp staff. So it was almost like two teams on the football team. And we was the Colts last night. Or we was whoever was playing, the Rams playing the Cowboys. Jersey, shout out to your Cowboys. I still am confused about what happened with that whole coin toss thing. So folks, we was the Colts, temp workers. And, the Saints were the hotel staff people. But the hotel staff people, the head people, they really liked me because I was the head temp. So anytime there was an issue, they would come to me like I'm supposed to fix things. They would be like, Joe, we're missing like 10 banquet servers. Do you got any idea where they're at? I'm like, dude, I make $8 an hour. I don't give a where they're at. I'm here like they here, and I'm here why they're here for the same reason. For the food and the party. Because we got to eat a plate of food, too. That was one of the perks that we got from the gig. Joe, we're missing like 10 banquet servers. You got any idea where they're at? And I would tell them, no, I'm not, no, I don't, but I'll look into it. I do make $8 an hour after all. Now, I'm lying when I tell you that I told them that I didn't know, because I did know. And one major point to throw into my Colts football team, aka other temp workers, was a lot of these people were just like me, who were just coming home from prison, except they were coming home from Fed prison. And they were living in a halfway house, and they were working at the temp service. And they would end up being banquet served. Some of these dudes were literally just coming home after doing decades in prison. Dudes and girls. So when they would ask me, yo, where are 10 banquet servers at? I knew exactly where they were. They were in the bathroom, passed out, because they had stolen bottles of wine, strawberry wine, at 17. Yeah, these dudes were just coming home. They didn't have shit to lose. They was making $8 an hour too. When they saw an opportunity to hit the snatch and grab on those bottles of strawberry wine, they was gone. They living in a damn halfway house. They just came home. Don't give a about this job. Food and alcohol was way more important than $8 an hour. So I would go into the bathroom and these dudes were slumped over. So that was one thing. Tales from the banquet serving gig, or tales from the Christmas party. Big Mama says my first job was $4.25 an hour. My first job was $5.75 an hour. So I'm really not too far off from you. And I was 15 at the time, working at an asphalt plant. Joe been working hard long before I've been a convicted felon. Pumpkin Queen says $15 an hour, can't even get the order right. Are we talking about McDonald's? I think that we are. But folks, I'm so far off, of course, I haven't even told you this tale. And what this is about, when I'm working this Smithfield Packing Christmas party, which was off the chain. They had a band. They had a dance floor. They had a photo booth. They had an open bar or two or three. I mean, this shit was like that. Sometimes when I was working at these banquets, because you got to understand something. When Joe came home from prison, I looked just like Robin Thicke. Hands down, just like Robin Thicke. Then the Newports came into my life. And then the donuts and the sweets and the honey buns. Now I don't look like Robin Thicke. I almost look like a burnt out Ellen DeGeneres. Oh, God, I am on one this morning. So when I came home looking like Robin Thicke, and if y'all don't believe me, y'all don't believe me. Y'all like, Joe, shut the Robin Thicke. You lying, boy. You lying, boy. Joe don't look like no Robin Thicke. Shit, me, I'm about to show you. I'm from the show me state. Y'all don't think Joe look like Robin Thicke? Let me show you my Instagram back before my Instagram turned into a meme page. Cody's taking over my Instagram. That's why you see a lot of this. All right, here we are. As a matter of fact, here is Joe as a banquet server. Good God, I'm glad we got these pictures. Tales from the Christmas parties. So you see me right here. I am about the sexiest man on the planet in these photos. You couldn't tell me anything. I was feeling myself, fresh home from prison. All of this shit came from the thrift store. Somebody said, wear your seatbelt. I guarantee you everybody here is nobody who even rocks with After Prison Show anymore. 152 weeks ago. Wow, that's crazy to think about. So yeah, here was Joe coming home. I look just like Robin Thicke. I mean, I look just like Robin Thicke or something else. Something far more sinister. Come home, I was ripped. Oh God, look at the line. Now I got fat rolls. Sexy ass. You know, boy. I was good looking, but here I was, guitar in hand, shirt off, pants down around my, I was good looking, fresh home from prison, boy. I look like one of them guys from those memes. Jersey says super cringe. You know it's not, though. I look like one of them guys from the memes when the girl's like, all felonies, no driver's license, owes $20,000 in court fines, but you said you're 6'4"? You remember those memes? So anyways, that was it. Robin Thicke looking ass. Yo, Robin Thicke looking ass. So when I tell y'all that when I was working at these banquets, sometimes, the ladies, they was, they was trying to push up on the kid. Oh, they was doing so in a major way. I can't remember every incident that happened, but I know I had at least 3 or 4 chicks that would try to, spit some game at me. And then the drunker they got, the more interesting it got as well. Oh my God, you were the banquet server? Did I not see you on a GQ magazine? I'm making all of this up. I can't remember what the conversation was. You look just like Elon Musk. I don't know where that came from. I made that up too. But the story is about just this one particular time when this chick would come up and start talking to me. Excuse me, what is your name? Well, they call me J Money. What's your name? And, she said, hey, I'm whatever the her name was. Margarine. We'll call her Margarine, like the 80-year-old hag up in the post office that one day. Margarine is my name, and I'm here to inquire about your marital status. Are you single? I wasn't at the time. I said, I'm not, but I wish I was. Gosh almighty. Margarine at the Gwaltney Smithfield Packing Christmas party. Now, another thing that I need to mention. During this time, Smithfield Packing was balling because there was this little rumor that was being spread around, a little gossip during the Christmas party. That Smithfield Packing, let me see if I can do any research. Let me see if I can find any truth to this. All right, well, it had something to do with China. There was this little rumor that was going around that, there was like some merger between Smithfield Packing and China, right? But because of this merger that took place, Smithfield Packing was now balling. I'm talking about executives from all over the country because Smithfield was, deeper than just Virginia. I didn't know this. They had other plants all over the country. Now, execs were getting flown over in the G5s and the G6s to the Christmas party, right? So, they was balling because of this China merger. So when this girl was talking to me, she was like, yeah, I'm inquiring about your marital status. Are you single or not? I'm like, yo, I'm not. She says, damn, that's too bad. And I'm like, yo, I know it's too bad. It's too bad for real, though. It don't gotta be too bad, though. She said, yeah, no, it doesn't. You're right, it doesn't. Folks, I felt like I was in a scene from that movie, The Notebook, until things took a turn for Brokeback Mountain. Somehow we veered off course completely, and she would say to me, she says, you're right, it doesn't have to be too bad, because my friend, give me a guy's name, anybody who we can throw under the bus. My friend, oh God, there's so many guys that come to my mind right now. No homo. My friend Jonathan has been eyeing you from across the banquet all night long, and he wanted me to come over and say so. Now, of course, this caught me completely off guard. For God's sakes, I've just come home from prison 2 months prior, and I'm about to say to Margarine, as my heart is crumbling, the you mean, Jonathan? When all of a sudden it registers in my mind. This China merger that just took place between Smithfield Packing and China, and execs getting flown in their G5s and G6s. I was just about to say, yo, you better not say not one more Brokeback Mountain word. When it registered in my mind, the dollar signs from this China merger and the fact that I didn't have any idea what Jonathan actually did for Smithfield Packing. I was just about to tell Margarine. John Lowry says fudge packing. Oh my God, that is hilarious. I was just about to say that when all of a sudden, I got blinded by the potential of a sugar daddy. I mean, let's just be honest about it. I just came home from prison, for God's sakes. Nothing was off the table at this point. I was struggling. I'm making $8 an hour as the head top flight security of the world banquet server. So just as I was about to tell Margarine, don't you say not one more Lucille God word, a light bulb went on in my head and I turned to Margarine and I said, so you said that his name was Jonathan? The end. Thank you, folks. Thank you. I will be performing here all night. I fancy myself. You might never ask yourself, Joe, where do you get it? Where does it come from? Well, you see, folks, I grew up during a time when Adam Sandler used to make comedy CDs. Y'all remember that? The story about the goat? The Adam Sandler goat story?